Hello everyone, I am TitanicSizedReviews. I review movies, shows, and video games. And today I'm reviewing SafeHouse, a 2023 Tubi original movie. It is an hour and 27 minutes long. It is an action thriller. And unlike, I'd say, most movies on Tubi, these are actually accurate. It is an action thriller. I'm going to mention the basics of the main character and not much else before I get into spoiler territory. There's really not a whole lot about the main character that you need to know. Her name is Carla, which you won't find out till about 30 minutes in, maybe. She's, I'd say, 5'4", very short. She's Hispanic, Mexican. She has a brother named Mario. Her mother lives in the US. And she is a nursing student. That's basically Carla. And now, I'm going to get into spoiler territory where I'm basically going to talk about the whole movie. So if you don't want any of that, and you want to know whether or not this movie's good or not, yeah, it's pretty good. It's decent. I liked it. It's a decent action thriller movie. For Tubi, for sure. Yeah. It's definitely one of their better movies. That being said, I'm going to get into spoilers now. So we start out with Carla in Mexicali, which is on the border of California. I'm not entirely sure which city is closest to them. I have no idea. Well, in the beginning, we just see Carla a little bit doing her nursing student thing. They show the news about a cartel member who is ex-employees are becoming informants and are going to rat on him and get him sent to prison. He obviously doesn't want that to happen. Well, Carla goes on with her life. She goes home. She meets her brother Mario, who is an informant for Border Patrol. And this is going to influence Carla's story. Shortly after introducing Mario and seeing that he works with Border Patrol, the cartel show up. As she walks in on him packing, and he tells her that they need to run. So they begin to run, and they run out of the street, into the street, and start getting shot at. Mario dies. He bites the bullet. Carla has to continue running for her own sake, and the cartel decide to continue chasing her, even though they've gotten their bag of money already. They chase her into an abandoned junkyard. Bunch of broken down cars. They look for her, and at some point, while she's sneaking around, they just randomly start shooting, hoping that they're going to hit her, even though they have no idea where she's at. And it's an enormous waste of bullets. Whatever. She manages to find a random hidey hole in the junkyard. She realizes it's a tunnel. Crawls down the tunnel. Gets shot at again by the cartel members who find out she's in the tunnel and hits her once in the arm. More of a flesh wound than actual impact. One of the cartel guys says, "She doesn't matter, we already have the money." Why they all of a sudden decide she doesn't matter is a little weird. Could have just left after they shot the brother, but that's fine. Forces her into that hole. She begins to crawl, and she uses her flashlight, and she crawls, and she crawls. At some point, her phone dies. She begins to panic and finds a lighter that I believe she has on her. She continues moving and leaves her phone behind. I don't know why she leaves her phone behind, but she does. She continues moving till she gets near the end of the tunnel. And then behind her, part of the tunnel collapses. And she's trapped, and she's worried, scared. She realizes there's a bit of light coming through the ceiling. So she begins to push, and eventually she opens the hatch and makes it outside. This is where she ends up, in California. Well, she comes out through this barn. She walks outside and sees this decent-sized house. And for some weird reason, she walks over towards the house. My first thought wouldn't be, oh, I just came through a smuggling tunnel. This is illegal. I might need to be careful because the people who make these tunnels usually aren't the nicest. But nope, that doesn't matter to her at all. She walks over to the house, to the front door. She just opens it and walks inside. To be fair, I don't think there's a doorbell, but she could have at least knocked. A little rude. Walks in, shouts and asks if anyone's there. Says hello. No one answers. No one responds. She walks around. She sees a camera system at a desk. No one's on the cameras. She walks over to the kitchen and gets some water. And then as she's about to lift her head, all of a sudden, bam! Shotgun goes off. She panics, falls to the floor. Another shot fired at her. She gets lucky, slips into a room where there's a dead guy. The lady shooting the gun tells her to come out. She does. And the lady who was holding the shotgun collapses to the floor because she was shot. And what you can only suspect is from the dead guy that's in the room where the girl fell, because he also had a gun in his hand. Well, Carla decides to help this character, and this character's name is Elwood, I believe. Could be Ellen. I'm going with Elwood, though. Helps her, takes the bullet out, walks around, and then all of a sudden, bam! Head smashed right into a wall. Lights out. She wakes up to meet another character whose name I don't know. I don't think they ever mention it. So I'm just going to call him B.A. because he's a badass. And then you get to meet two other characters who come in at the same time. One's name is Marshall. The other is Paulina Alvarez. She's one of the two informants. The other informant is Valdez. He's the dead guy. Well, for some weird reason, Paulina is in a bag and zip tie handcuff situation. Why the informant has this going on, I'm not entirely sure. Maybe they just don't think they can fully trust her, which is understandable. Still seems a little weird if she's the one turning on them and doesn't want to die because she knows the cartel are trying to kill her. Whatever. Marshall and B.A. are obviously working for the CIA, and so is Elwood. And because I don't want to go step by step any further, I'm just going to give you a little bit more information and give you my rating. Some more interesting things happen during this time in the movie. Obviously, the cartel's going to find out about them. It's an action thriller. You know what's going to happen. Somehow. I'm not going to tell you exactly how. I'm not going to tell you what happens to the characters any further. I'm just going to say that it's pretty good. It's pretty entertaining. It does a decent job. I like the characters. I think the girl Carla's acting could be just a little bit better, but it's not bad. It's just not quite as good as the other actors around her. But she's younger, so I'm going to let it go. So, yeah. My favorite moment in this movie involves B.A. and a cartel member. I just think it was funny. Completely unnecessary, but funny. If you watch it, I'm sure you'll see it. I'm going to give this movie an 8 out of 10. I liked it. I think it was good. There's certain parts that felt a little strange, but in general, it's good. It's well written. Everybody does a good job. I was entertained the whole time, for sure. Something about it doesn't make me want to give it a higher score, but I liked it. If you liked this video, please do me a favor and click that subscribe button. It helps me out. I'd like to reach 100 subscribers before the end of this year. More than that would be even better. Maybe leave a like on the video. Maybe share the video. Leave a comment. Do you think there's something I could work on? I'm choosing not to add music to this video in particular. Do you think if you've watched my other videos, it's better with music or better without? Would you have preferred if I had shared the entire story, which I have done with some movies? I mean, I've left little parts out, but in general, I've shared the entire story with other movies. Please let me know so I can try to improve or expand. Thank you for watching. Have a good day.